Howdy, 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 ho. What's up, folks? How's it going? We don't have any music. Got Snow here with me. Some other players may jump in as we go. How you doing, Snow? Good. We're going to be doing...
I'm doing fine, sorry.
Good. I have some fast time saved up for my stream. Oh, slightly too loud, probably. Still slightly too loud. Just going to get some music. There we go. Music's probably a little bit quiet, but, you know, it's ambient and moody. That'll do. What we're going to be doing is basically making some taverns. I actually want to try and make what the rat hole looks like, so there may be some spoilers. I have a specific vision in mind, and I'd like to make some actual themed taverns for this campaign. So what we're going to do is, you'll see here I've got some images from other sources which we're going to borrow, so, you know, so sue me. And we're just going to use them as reference images. So it's going to make the game look, it's going to make it look quite Unreal Engine-ish, but that's fine. And we're going to do that, and we're going to go fast as well. There we go. Yo, what's up, Jojo? What's up, Runes? What's up, Mr. Matt? How you guys doing? Happy Sunday to you all on your day of rest. Once you exhaust your fast hours, you can opt into incremental billing. No, thank you. Looks like it gets expensive pretty quick. So we're going to make... I'm actually tempted what some of these look like remastered, so I'm going to remaster 2 of these as well. Okay, first one is on the way. The first one's actually marked as... Oh, no, it is fast. Excellent. It's just not giving us picture updates. So, yeah, plan today. I've been doing some, so you can have a look at some of the taverns. I quite like this one. There's probably a bit of a delay for you, Snow, but you'll see it pop up in a moment. But... It looks like what I imagine the rat hole to look like. Just a place that most people would not necessarily want to be.
That looks more put together than I imagine the rat hole.
I quite like this one too, but this one actually does look quite nice, and someone's left an expensive necklace and a half-melted cooking pot on the table. These came out like...
half-melted cooking pot's about right.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these came out very, like, waxed, and not quite got the... Yeah, it really went with the underground, desaturated look. Which is fine, but it's not exactly what I was going for. That's kind of what it did. This one I quite like that's coming up. Let's have a look. There's got to be some others here. This one looks like a nobleman's house. Far too many candles on the table in a strange assortment. And some nice quality chairs as well. Like, you'd pay that.
You know, the thing that strikes me about it is that it seems to have a hard time doing dirt. You know what I mean? Like everything's too shiny.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's an interesting thing to notice that, like, that's a great example. You know, the wooden floor is almost polished looking because of the way it's in the light.
Okay,
it's
so
just something kind of noticed. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm going to go with a couple more iterations of this, but I think we're going to need to. I'm just loading up this one.
That one did it right. That one, the dusty floor, really looked right.
We're going to need 4 more versions of number 1 here. I think we need to change the prompts a little bit. So, because I've tried to do rat infested, it has absolutely no idea what that means. Normally, it just sticks a rat behind the bar or a rat on the table that's the size of a human, and it's like, okay, so we've got a 15th century closed, abandoned tavern at night. Let's go with rundown tavern. God knows if it understands what rundown is. At night with no lighting. Emphasis with... I need to put no sky, no candles as well.
It's the pinpoint lighting that's the bizarre part, I think, is really what it is. It's like the candles are almost too much
Yeah.
with the way it's like putting the light out.
I
don't know. It's just kind of an odd effect. It looks fine for most things.
Very
but
dark.
dingy is sort of the defining characteristic of the
No
rat hole.
candles. Closed window shutters. Cobwebs on the walls, and we're going to go with small. Oh, we'll just put bones, small bones, on the floor, and hundreds of small bones on the floor. Many, and with string attached. Okay, we're gonna see if this works. Okay, so we've got rundown, pitch black, messy, cluttered, closed, abandoned, dusty, medieval, horror, scary, grim. I think let's try that, and I might turn the chaos down a little bit too, because I think the chaos is maybe a little bit high, which is why it's making such like crazy stuff. How's it going? Blah blah. This is Midjourney that I'm using. What's up, Barnes? It'll start with vampires. No. That would be far too easy for our young adventurers. I think. Okay, so that one nearly looks good, but I need to make a variant which doesn't have like bright green shit on the table. That would be like a nice picture for someone's home.
I like the one on the right, the bottom right. But of course it's black and white.
The black and white one. Yeah, the bottom right one's okay. What we need is like just a lot more a lot more versions. So we're just going to pump out a load, see what comes up. Because it's barking up the right tree here. And so that's good. This one's gradually being coloured in, so we're gradually having more details added. So this is probably going to be tavern. Oh dear, I think we have a giant rat on the floor coming, but we'll see. Right, okay. Okay, so that one, the upscale for that went painting. I mean, it's a cool picture. I kind of like that, aside from the yellow trim around the edge. Excuse me while I wiggle in my chair. I'm desperately trying to get comfortable. I kind of like the painted effect of this, but it just doesn't quite fit with all of the other crap that I've got. That was the remastered version of one higher up, that's why. So let's go back to here. Oh, God. Yeah, it has no idea what to do with... Too many words. I think what we should try is actually stripping back some of the instructions, because it's got confused.
Have you tried it with pests? Runes made a comment about that, and I thought, oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
I wanted to ask if you'd actually tried it with like the term pest instead of, say, the term rat.
Yeah, I'm down with that. What do you call a group of rats? Do they have a particular name, like a gaggle or a swarm of rats, maybe?
I've only ever heard it called a swarm, but I'm not sure that's the actual
word. Because it's quite anal when it comes to terminology with this. So if you find specific words, it'll look at that and be like, oh, many rats means this. So I'm thinking that might be an avenue to explore. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the chaos down to 50, because I feel like it's going a bit much at the moment. 15th century run down tavern at night with no lighting, very dark, and closed windows. Let's just go dusty, dark, medieval, Warhammer Fantasy, medieval again, smoky. We don't need poor, we don't need Blackadder, we don't need overcast. Dark, grim, dark, gritty, realistic, cinematic, hyper detailed, detailed. Let's
So the grouping is called a colony. The technical terming is going to be colony.
a colony. Okay. I'm going to do one here like this,
I guess
and
they do make colonies and family groups.
Yeah.
See here, skaven. But I didn't know that was the actual word. Swarm also. Swarm of rats is the other one.
Oh,
so
okay.
Swarm and colony are both technical terms.
well, let's go with that.
Indicates rats.
A mischief of rats. Valkana says, I'm going to go with that as well, because that sounds good.
Hilarious if we try it. Like I don't know the brain damage that AI is going to have when we're done.
So I like this picture that's come up. I don't quite know what's happening on the wall, and it doesn't quite give me. This gives me like backroom monastery vibes rather than like Warhammer, because it's kind of the wrong. Something's not quite working for me there. I'm not sure.
You're welcome, Dwarf Runes. He said, "Thank you, mysterious voice."
Yeah. There you go. The mysterious voice is a hit. So what do we got here? Yeah, we're going to upscale number 1. Yeah, I think we need to try different prompts. Let's see what those two come up with. Now I've trimmed a bit of the fat off. I've got high hopes for these. Okay, they look a bit more like taverns for a start, so that's good. I might do a cellar, because I feel like the rat hole is going to be more like a cellar. So we'll maybe move to that in a moment. Ah, yep, there's the rat sat at a table. Why does it not understand? These look really clean as well. They're only on 89%, but... Okay, so this one's not too bad. It's kind of a strange... I tell you what, I do actually need to add oil on canvas at the end as well, because that's... Oh, okay, number 2 here I like. And number 4, actually. Number 2 and 4 here. So what we're going to do is 4 versions of number 4. 4 versions of number 2. So I like those. We just load that back up again for you. I think one's...
Is the mistiness part of the process as it increases resolution? Or is that actually kind of like part of the design?
I put misty in there.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I mean, I like the effect. I was just curious if it was like kind of what do we call it? Cleaning it up as it went.
Oh, okay. So number 4 here looks nice. So we're going to go with one. Oh, is that the right one? I like most of these. I like number 3 as well. Let's go with a bunch of those. Inside a 5th century, very dark, with no lighting, very dark, closed windows. Infestation. I think infestation, if I remember correctly, is a banned word. No, it's not. Something like that is, because I did try.
Infestation being a banned... Their banned words are really odd.
I tried, like, flesh is banned, because I tried to make a flesh monster, and it was like, we don't allow flesh here. But you type in bikini, and you get a whole lot of flesh.
Anyway.
It's very easy to find flesh in this. Just type in pretty woman, and you got flesh.
Hilarity ensues.
So I'm going to go with, for this one, the rats in 1 make no sense, so I'm going to go with number 3 and number 4, I think. Nope. Number 3, number 4. I know this is happening a bit fast here. Number 2. There's so many lights. Like, no matter how many times you put dark, it seems to be like, fuck yeah, I'll do my own thing.
Just more dull light sources.
Yeah. I need to put like no candles, no lights. That guy looks a bit like a dwarf in number 1 here. So inside a 15 colony of rats inside. Fuck it, let's just do 4 versions of that. Okay, let's go to some that it's actually finished. That's not finished. So this one's finished, and that's quite good actually. I like this one. It's very painted and kind of D&D-ish in terms of colour. God knows what's going on behind the bar with like 20 candles being lit. Maybe that's just a shrine. It's fine.
Thorin's grave.
Soren's grave, yes. I'm pretty sure this guy at the chair has like 4 legs, but that's fine. He's probably just holding a small child in front of him.
Sure.
Either that or he's giving birth to another man. I'm okay with that one. I might just do a variation of it. Inside a 15th century poor tavern. Let's put ruined tavern. Like let's not beat around the bush. Let's go full on. That one's like heavy on the painted effect, still mad with candles. I think we actually need to give it some prompts here to be like, oh, it's done rat people again. Oh, it doesn't understand.
Rat people.
You literally cannot put rats on the floor. It's like, people go in taverns. Oh, this person wants rats. Rats can look like people. Rat people.
I mean, if you ever have a need for a Skaven bar, you've got what you need.
It's a shame because these 4 actually look really good, aside from the fact that there are rats.
Just man-sized rats just chilling out, drinking beer.
Those I like. So let's just go with these rat ones first. So I tell you what, let's do some different versions of one of these. So let's do some different versions of number 1, but just take out the rats. There you go. Let's just try that. Right, the next one looks a bit better. We've got loads of candles still to... Okay. I'm about to just make a prompt that says no candles. Right. Chaos 50, AR 32, 3x2 rather. No candles. Actually, I think that needs to go. No candles. Let's see what it does instead of candles then. Because if you put fireplace, it will set the whole damn place on fire. It really is into that. So the only thing I'm unhappy with some of these is just the lighting's just... Let's do some different variants of this with less candles. With 2 candles on the table. You watch it put like a 6-foot candle on the table now. It's really...
Man-sized candles, here we go.
Yeah, okay.
It's a sadly quite literal
We got
interpretation of things.
Okay, like a chandelier, and like this is okay, but there's just too many damn lights. Make variations with a single candle providing light. Providing light. There we go. We're going to get there, guys. How's everyone in the chat doing, by the way? Y'all having a good day? Taverns are tricky, man. Taverns are tricky. I think we're going to go on to cellar as well. Yeah, I'm going to... Like, in 40k, I had a lot of issues getting this many candles. It really wouldn't do it.
Which is hilarious, really.
Yeah, and now it's like, oh, you want a tavern? Well, there's candles everywhere. Number 2 here is pretty nice. I kind of like that. So we'll upscale that. No one worships the beer from the rat hole. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, still aiming for Friday start. No idea. Yeah, Tama, what's up? With the start of the RP approaching, do you have an idea of what days of the session will fall on? Fridays. There will be Friday evening, sort of UK time. Yeah,
I think that'd be
like
what
8
9
p.m. UK.
His time, yeah.
Yeah, so
9 p.m. his time, I think.
in like an hour and a half on a Friday.
Assuming he's from where his currency says he's from.
Yeah,
I may be wrong on that.
Yep. Thank you very much for the bucks, dude. Much appreciated. God bless you. Right, okay. So some of these, we have a modest amount of candles now. Well, one of these is a bit excessive. Number 2 is, but I like the pictures. So we're going to go with 4. Come back. And number 1. Okay, they look quite good. Right, there we go. Number 2 here. Look, okay, I've got number 2. I've got number 2's number. Okay, I think with a single candle providing light, I think we're going to stick with that for now. Let's go with ruin inside a 15th century abandoned cellar. Let's go with horror. Shadows.
Just throw horror in there and it automatically changes the lighting.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. Maybe I just need to add like a black reference image to be like, this colour, please. More of this.
Scale it in this direction.
Yeah, exactly. Please incorporate more of this. Right. Ruined tavern at night. Single candle providing light. Okay. Okay, just trying something. Let's go with that. Let's see how that goes. Are any of these going to be good? We'll find out soon. I hope so. Because we've got some really good stuff for like general town. Like, I like this one. This one's nice. I've done a light upscale redo by accident, but like the hearth is a little bit like jumbled, but that's fine. Like, it's still a timber frame. That's fine. I might do a beta upscale for it, which will give it a slightly more painted effect. I tell you what I need to do is also bring them back to oil on canvas as well. Although it tends to lean in an oil on canvas direction, so you're kind of okay.
I don't mind that, really. It's
yeah.
It feels appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I think it basically mixes a bunch of video game images, and so this is an example of a beta upscale here. So these give more of the quirky painted effect ones. Like, they're cool. I like them. They're kind of horrific, and the details are so ambiguous that anything could be anything. Like, there could be a person under that table. There could be a horse under that table. There could be there's enough ambiguity that you can kind of have free reign as GM still. So I kind of like that. Okay. I really like number 1 here. Number 1's going places, so we're going to get some more versions of that. And I like number 4. I do feel like it's listening to me now, slightly more than it was at least. I don't know if any of the patrons have seen the map pack I've put out for the Dark Town, and I know I haven't done today's or yesterday's yet, so apologies, I'm really am running behind. But I have a radiator by the side of my bed now, which was slightly more important. I would suggest checking out those images because, in my opinion, they're great. They're really good.
I'll have to poke around with it because I unfortunately was working the other night and haven't caught up with everything yet.
It's all good. One. Now, where's the one that I want? Number 2. So we're going to upscale number 2. Right, ruined cellar. Okay, I'm going to try doing some variants of that because I've got this image in my head as to what I want. I like the vignette that this one's added. This is kind of spoopy. I wonder where it's taken this from. I like 1 here. Like 1's good. I like that. 2's interesting too. We'll do that. Yeah, 50 years later. This campaign's just going to be set within Tarm. So Tarm is basically now going to have quadrupled in size due to an economic boom, and we're going to have a campaign just set in it. So small scale again, like season 1. Only we're not going to be like travelling off to a different town every session. This is going to be
no combine threshers versus giants, is what you're telling me?
Unlikely. I plan to keep some sort of sandbox elements, so I guess I can't say no, but it would seem improbable. So these are kind of okay, but yeah, not quite. They're not quite there. We've got a few that I think are all right, but there's something I'm getting wrong with the prompts because they're consistently not quite what I'm looking for. But we'll see. We're burning through those hours. What have we got here? Okay, these ones look like they'll be spoopy when they're finished. So what have we got here? Okay. I like these. Number 3 is very like we've made a cult and lit some candles. Number 2, I think number 2 here could very well be like a temple at night. It's got that the window makes me think temple. And number 4 is like yes, welcome to my cellar. Apply the lotion.
I was going to say, is that the cellar where the demon is stuck to the stone, just waiting?
I mean, he might still be down there somewhere, although I think he was kind of taken care of.
Let me out.
Yeah. Help. Oh, dear. Demons get...
I just like the fact that he was from Brooklyn. Like, the demon lord happened to be from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Fairly appropriate if you've ever been to Brooklyn.
I haven't. I don't know much about it other than like cop dramas, which I assume are fairly accurate.
They're actually right now it's pretty gentrified, but 30 years ago it was a very different place.
Right, gotcha. Lots of stone walls here, so I'm getting lots of like castle vibes. What's this got? What is that in the middle? Why are there so many candles? Why can you just not do that without the candles? Okay. That one didn't work at all. So the beta upscale, which I did, upscale beta, did not work at all. Okay. So
well, I like the kind of leaning of the wall though on number 3.
Oof. It's hard. I should really have shared screen with you so you could keep because the stream's probably like a minute behind. So I have absolutely no idea.
It's the one. It's the picture with the walls, and you can see the stone wall, but the perspective is kind of low to the ground, so it looks like the walls are kind of leaning.
Oh yeah. That's got that spoopy look that all the girls chase. This one, let's make a variant of that. Inside a 15th century ruined tavern. Night with a single candle providing light. No people. No people. The walls are covered in paper and drawings. String joining the paper together. Very dark with well, there won't be any windows. It's a cellar. Very dark. Okay. Cobwebs. Dusty. Dirty. Oh, we got dusty again. Fine. We'll go with this. Let's go with this one. Alright, so some of these are turning out okay. This one's kind of cool. Is this like a wine cellar underground? It's okay aside from the texture of the top right-hand side, which is like a leather ceiling. I don't even know what that is. It's not quite. It's not quite what we're here for.
The ceilings are made of people.
Yeah. The ceiling has hair. Why does the ceiling have hair? So some of these are okay, but none of them are as good as any of the pictures of the towns. So that's interesting, because maybe I just need to go back and borrow those prompts.
Well, I like the bar with no roof. That was the one I thought was interesting. It had like the roof.
Yeah.
It's such a hilarious tax evasion kind of very Warhammer sort of thing, but.
Yeah. I'm going to go back and we're just going to go back up to here. Yeah, I think I'm going to lower the chaos a little bit too. Let's just try 15th century cellar. Medieval, Warhammer Fantasy, poor, Blackadder, muddy, misty, overcast, dark, grimdark, gritty. We can get rid of overcast now. Grimdark. It's dark and grimdark. Let's just go with grimdark. Realistic, cinematic, hyper detailed, detailed, all on canvas, chaos 10. Right, let's go with that. The thing with chaos is it tends to be quite chaotic. Like, it occasionally comes up with something really cool, but most of the time just kind of fucks it up. Why are there so many candles?
Three-legged turkeys, just little things like that.
1, 2, 3. So 3 here could be a cult shrine. I'll take it. I like the drawn effect because it's almost like here is a painting of a cultist shrine. Go find it. Yes, the bakery needs to be featured, and I do have a picture of the bakery ready. So we've got the bakery sorted. That I'm looking forward to. Let's see what this does without any reference images, because I have a feeling one of the problems are my reference images, which are kind of hamstringing it. And it's probably because my reference images have candles that it's hell-bent on shoving candles down my throat.
It's like, I'm just going to take what you did and make more of it.
Yeah, pretty much. So, number 1 here is kind of okay.
I'm on
Yeah.
delay, so I'm not sure which of them. Okay,
Yeah, so 3's kind of
yeah,
okay.
that's all right.
3's all right too, I think.
Yeah, they're there, but they're not omnipresent or wasteful.
Yeah. Omnipresent candles right now are my bane. Yeah, if only medieval people didn't burn 20 candles at once, maybe the Dark Ages would have ended a lot sooner. If they, why do you have to burn so much? Good lord.
Bro, that seems kind of wasteful.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, 4 looks good, except for the wall on the right is actually some twisted Jenga puzzle of bricks. So I'm just putting that to one side. Grimdark Baldric. Yeah, so this is. I feel like it's mocking me right now. So I'm looking forward to the next couple that aren't based off of those reference images, because I honestly think they've shot me in the head. Although number 4 here looks awesome. Okay, perfect. This is sometimes what you have to do, is just keep making stuff and making stuff.
Which one?
So for the 4 I've just loaded, number 2 is very much what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I've got this vision in my head, and with the cue, or rather with the prompt of there being lots of bits of parchment on the walls and drawings and string from one to another, it paints a picture that we've all seen a million times in TV. So you know what I'm doing, guys. You know what's going on. Something big. That's the plan, anyway. So we're nearly at the ones without prompts. So here we go. These are actual. Thank you for actually listening to me now. So now we don't have those reference images. It actually kind of knows what to do. Although now they look nothing like what I had asked for. I tell you what they haven't done, actually, which I do need to amend, because they won't do. Well, they're okay, but I need them 3x2. So let's go ahead, and I need the aspect ratio to be appropriate. Chaos 10, AR 3, 2. Okay. Prompt 15th century cellar. Horror. Medieval. Horror. Scary. Let's go with that first. Okay, so this was nearly good. This one was nearly good. If it could just get rid of all of these damn candles. Let's make a variant of this with no candles on it. In capitals.
Mojo's candle genocide.
I've just put no candles in caps, and it better listen. Yeah, great aphrodisiac, candles burning. I mean, it's very relaxing, I'll give you that. Not when there's 100 of them, though. That's anxiety inducing, or devil summoning. Either way, it's a dangerous direction to go with candles.
Makes you want to go over and knock a few of them over to see what happens.
Well, maybe if you're feeling that way inclined a little bit. I like this one. This one's really tasty. I have no idea what's going on here, but I like the fact we've got like a chalice and a massive chode of a candle, and an archway window looking to outside. I like this one. Looks Christmassy. Well, it is festive, I'll give you that. So this one only has 6 candles in this room, so that's slightly less wasteful. Okay, number 3 here actually looks okay, doesn't it? Number 3 looks like it could pass for... I actually quite like this one. I think that could be a fairly good like back room of a Sigmar temple. It's obviously a stone building, so
Usable.
yeah, that one's usable because it's like, okay, someone in there can light candles. That's fine. This one is a little
money to light candles.
That's too misty, and it's lost its way. It was doing okay, and then I upscaled it, and it's like, I don't know where to put these drawings. Here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Number 1 here is kind of getting closer to it. And we're going to do with a single candle. No candles. I don't think it actually understands no, but we'll see. Oh, number 4 here is epic. You've just interrupted a smuggler's den. Roll initiative. I like that one.
Right. Oops, this is not where I parked my cart.
That's very toasty. Is that one actually finished? Let's oh no, that one wasn't even finished. Okay, we'll come back to that one. All of those look awful. It's definitely emphasizing the misty, so maybe need to watch that keyword. Wow, yeah, and it's really gone for that hyper detailed. Let's do some more variants of these smugglers. I like this. Number 2 there is just drop dead gorgeous as well. I really like that. Please go down to the cellar. Oh, and there's a door down there. Don't open it. And as you go down, there's this just clawing at the door. Perfect. See, these pictures are so good at inspiring shit in my brain. I love it. And even here, number 3. Like, that's a halfling home in the hills if ever I've seen one. I'm assuming they live like hobbits. I don't actually know, but... to number 1. The colours are a little vibrant on these. That's my only qualm, but I really like this one. Like,
Tarmanel just made a great comment. This actually made me a great story prompt. Might be fun to do. It might even be a full campaign. Do people who are on the volunteer fire brigade in a city.
Good, yeah.
Warhammer. And like, so it gives you reason for all of these people to actually work together, you know. But that's an interesting prompt. Like, how do you guys know each other? Well, we were all, you know, either forced to be on it or volunteered for the fire department. And the amount of craziness that would probably come out of that is. I thought
about something like that, or I like the fact that also throws you directly into danger. Because it's like you have something unsafe you need to do.
Normally thinking of.
Yeah, well, I think you could have great fun doing a campaign of fishermen, and like, you know, you've got maybe a captain, a huffer, and 2 fishermen, and so you don't all have to be the exact damn
everybody's
role.
Got a river kind of classification.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could all be other careers, and you could have just changed to huffer and be like, okay, everyone rolls a random character, and now we change your career for this campaign to something else, and for whatever reason you're now fishing, because that's where adventure. But that's also kind of what some of the campaigns try to do, to be like, yeah, you were a noble, but you're not right now.
Right. Like, until you can clear your name, you're not anybody.
Yeah, but also, like, while you're running around the hills of Reichland, you're not working as a noble, you know? You can't just do an income endeavour in the middle of Kislev when you're from Reichland and be like, oh, I'll just make a gold crown by smiling at people. It's like, well, no.
Well, I mean, that the whole, you know, Empire in Shadows sort of reminds you, like, there's that whole thing where you're on the river going to Middenheim, right? And it's like, yeah, you're you're stuck on a boat, like have fun doing an income endeavor there. If you've got something that's, have fun being a blacksmith on a boat, right?
Yep. So these, I'm going to need to Google scary cellar. Okay, well, I'm just going to try and find an image of a scary medieval.
Everything is scary.
Yeah, and preferably one without Shutterstock written all over it, because this software will copy that.
Like, that'd be great. Just like engraved into the stone in the background.
Oh, you get loads of that. If you do towns and medieval villages, like clearly it struggles to find enough reference stuff, so it's like, okay, yeah, this is made by Shutterstock, right? Like it doesn't write Shutterstock, it just does words. Yeah, it just does words.
Shutterstock with an E on the end of it.
It's funny with language. It like kind of just changes it to do its own thing, really. That's because so it just makes up new languages on the fly very, very quickly. I'm looking for a scary. Let's just look for scary cellar. Cellar horror scene. Okay. I'm just trying to find something that looks appropriate. God, I haven't seen the Grudge in a long time. I'm just typing in horror and seeing what pops up, and it kind of reminds me how much I dislike most horror films, because I'm a coward, an absolute coward. Let's see what we got here. So this one's kind of okay, not that great. That one might turn out to be all right. Let's have a look. What do we got here? That one's okay, but very wispy. I don't know what's going on with the details. Sometimes the small images look really good until it blows it up, and then it just kind of gets very confused. Most of these are kind of passable, but I honestly think the ones without the reference images were kind of superior here, so... Let's do one of these as well. Yeah, well, that actually looks like a cellar. Let's do another variant of that as well. I think we've done more variants of most of those. Okay. Let's go no reference image. Let's try this. 15th century scary cellar. Okay, there we go. Parchment on the walls. Drawings and letters. Linking the drawings. There we go. Okay. Hyper detailed 8K, oil on canvas, no candles. There we go. Let's see if it actually listens. I kind of like some of these are looking okay actually in terms of including some people. So this looks like a rogue cultist who's been left in a cellar and has like leather for a face, no eyes anymore.
How many legs does he have? That's the big
just
question.
Just the two.
Oh wow.
Just a pretty standard cultist. Or mutant, I guess. I've got high hopes for that one. What do we got here? Underground, some sort of underground operation. I don't know what. They've got lots of rocks in barrels. and it looks like they're replacing them with something else. There's many plots to be had here. This picture's way too confused. I'm not even... That's some sort of eldritch horror. That guy has too many legs. That picture is usable. I'm going to create another version of that, just because I think there's some opportunity for that to work. These are... I need to not have people. There's way too many people. Alright, medieval, fantasy, poor, Blackadder, muddy, misty, grimdark, gritty. I'm just wondering where it's getting people from. I think it just... 15th century abandoned cellar. Scary abandoned cellar. Horror. Dirty. Ruined. Broken. Papers on the floor. Let's try a bit of that. Man, this is giving me a hard time today.
Doesn't want to cooperate.
It is going for a very specific look. Can you have a Discord link? Of course you can, Scourge. Do we have a mod in the chat? Do we? It's just that I can't really change window. So, Snow, do you mind putting a link? Are you a mod?
I am actually not a mod, believe it or not.
Wow. Okay.
I'll be there in a second.
Let's fix that first. I think I actually have to go to here. Yeah, other half's doing well, Mojo. She is. She's got a big bump. She's got a big old bump. Yeah, we had a slight scare the other day, which was, well, obviously scary. What the hell? Like, this is just... Why? It was doing semi-okay, at least. And like this guy with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands. Other than that, this one's not terrible. Let's make a version of that. So I feel like these could be like thieves' dens. They actually look kind of okay. Let's scroll down a little bit here. We'll have that Discord link in a sec for you, Scourge. We got an absence of mods today. I like this though. This is like 4 outlaws in a cellar. That's fine. And I like where this one's going.
Yeah.
I like where this one's going. You are now mod. I'm going to make Yoris a mod as well. Yoris, you're now a mod. Can I get someone just spamming a Discord link, please, for these beautiful people? If you want the actual images themselves that I'm saving for the campaign, and I'm going to try and put them on an actual file to use directly in Foundry sooner or later, I'm sticking them on the Patreon. You're obviously not paying for my artistic talents, because I have none. You're paying for me to sit here for hours filtering through garbage.
You're paying for the refinement process.
Like, it's damn time consuming. What the hell? Like, what's this? I'll take it, but abandoned cellar? Like, this is... The hell is that? You throw in no people and all of a sudden it's like catacombs. That's what you asked for. I mean, I kind of like them. I like all of these for different reasons. I'm just going to load up a bunch more of them. And we're going to upscale all of these.
Let's see if that works. I think that's us.
There we go. I do stick a few of these up on the in the showroom on the channel though, because it's nice to chat about them. I like number 4 here. It kind of looks to me like an elven ruin, maybe. It looks elven. Or Tillian, maybe. There's something a bit foreign about it. Something foreign. God, I'm English. Let's go for town. I want to go back and just find my town links. Okay. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to scroll up a... Oh, no. I know what I'm going to do. Street. I'm trying to look through my messages. There we go. Right. So some of these were pretty good. I like these. Aside from the fucking giant turkey thing here that's sneaking up on this man. Maybe it's just really close to the camera and a funny angle. But it does look like that's the world's biggest turkey sneaking up on someone. I'm actually going to... Chaos 50 seemed to work quite well there. So I'm going to borrow this. And we're going to see if... 15th century dark cellar.
I like the turkey thing profession. It's like a seagull crossed with like a raven, maybe. I don't know what that is.
Yep. Right.
What Warhammer thinks a seagull should look like.
Oh, okay. I really like number 1 here. It's like, yeah, that's a ruin, all right. Oh, wow, number 2 here is sick as well. I like these. These are places you wouldn't want to go. Chaos Chicken confirmed. Yeah, probably. So I like those. Fast hours are definitely better. I need to save them all for streams. Yeah, I think all of those can be upscaled. How about these? Well, one definitely looks like a cultist there, because there's those candles again. And whatever that is that's on a flag at the top of the room, I mean, that just looks heretical, so we'll upscale that one too. These outlaws have suddenly... Yeah, their faces have they've gone upside down face. That one I kind of like. That's all right.
But have they gone colander face?
Not yet, but they're definitely heading in that direction. I like this one too. This is like an entrance to the Haga crypts, and oh, why are there piles of candles here? This isn't 40k. Yeah, this to me definitely says something, but I don't know what.
Best job in 40k is candle salesman.
It says you're no longer in Reichland. I think also because there's a steel beam above your head, which implies that something has gone wrong in your travels. Right, let's see how these go. I'm curious in particular for... I mean, that one's kind of nice. Woodland ruins. Right, we're gonna need to bring it back to taverns in a second. So this is doing the outside view of taverns. Kind of neat though. Let's see how it does. I like that. That's pretty neat. Whatever it is above that door says heresy on it. Chaos Chicken is dangerous. Anything that starts with chaos is wise words. Very wise words. Generally good to avoid anything that starts with the word chaos. Right. Dark medieval cellar. Okay, this looks absolutely nothing like what I was expecting. But I'm going to give it another chance with that. I'm going to give it, in fact, 2 more chances. Because I think it looks... It's thinking about something. It's clearly like... Oh, number 1 as well. Number 1 kind of makes me think a Garden of Moor entrance. Which image is this that it's using as a reference? It's using the Bogenhafen one. Okay. One thing I need to do is find a cellar. There we go. So what we're going to do... I'm going to print screen here. Bear with me a second. I'm going to resize this image. You won't be able to see what I'm doing right now, but it's absolutely cunning. Here is some artwork I never made, but I will be using for the purposes of this stream. We're going to use that as a reference pic. Right, let's go with this. Yep. So let's go with that, and we're going to add this in. Copy link. I'm going to use that as another reference image as well. Okay, 15th century dark cellar. Drawings and paintings all over the walls. No lighting. And very, very dark. Maybe it's going to pay attention if I write it twice. Let's see. Let's just see what happens. You must confess, you've been unfaithful. You have watched other RPG channels. Well, Dwarf, I haven't been doing that much, so you're very welcome to watch other channels, because I can hardly complain. If I was doing a campaign right now and you were like, I'm not going to watch that, I'm going to watch I don't know, Critical Role. Ugh, shudder. I used to really like that, but every time I see it now I just cringe so hard. I still like some of them.
Like a lot of things, I think they were victims of their own success, you know?
Yeah, I can't.
Everybody was more relaxed. It was better.
Yeah, when they were themselves.
Right. Yeah, and that's the key. Is that when it was a bunch of actors actually just goofing around, it was much funnier.
Yeah. Yeah,
which led to the genuineness of it. Right?
Oh wow, number 1 here. What a cool image. I really like this. I like number 4 as well. Kind of, yeah. Let's go with some other variants of these. There we go. So some of these might be usable. I think they're getting away a little bit from the town I have in mind, so I'd probably use them as like a midland town or something of the sorts. I mean, they look cool, don't get me wrong. So what other channels have you been watching, Dwarf? Are there any you'd recommend? Some good TTRPG stuff to watch? Okay, this stuff just is not... it's not giving me them... It's not giving me them spicy images, so what we're going to do is we're going to go for... Right. Inside a 15th century tavern. Feck it, let's keep pigs, ducks and other stuff there too. This one I kind of like. It's kind of Warhammery. Yeah, quirky at least.
Yes, a word whose meaning has been lost.
Warhammery.
No, quirky.
Oh, quirky. Yeah.
I was wondering if Jumbo Thick was on that list. Yeah, he mentions Red Moon Roleplaying. I don't know, but Jumbo Thick I definitely know. Home of the strongest blacksmith on the internet.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't been watching much in the way of roleplay for quite some time. I have to say, it's something I do miss. Me and my other half used to sit there for about 4 hours twice a week and just go through whatever we were into at the time, really. which was... these are looking kind of nice, actually. I like number 4 here. Number 4 is really tasty. Yeah. That wasn't the number 4 I was thinking of. That was the number 4 I was thinking of. Let's go back to that. Yeah, there we go. Number 3. Okay, some of these are getting better. My prompt crafting is a bit weak. I will admit that, though. Like, work is needed. That's one of the things with this too, right? Like, there is... I'm not going to call it a skill. There is a knowledge required.
Well, it's a language. You have to understand the language that the AI speaks, because it's not human.
Yeah.
Like, and I say that like it's, you know, it's very obvious to say that, but the implications of something like this are far-reaching, because you're communicating with something that doesn't understand nuance. So the linguistic aspects of nuance is not something it gets. So you have to be very, very specific.
It can't.
Not dumb precisely, but synonyms. It hates synonyms. That's an example.
Well, it can't make too many assumptions, which you would just think would be a given. Like if you're like a dark tavern, it'll probably show you a tavern from the outside. So then you've got to be like, well, inside a dark tavern. But then it might give you some weird, quirky view. 6-fingered hands, exactly. You didn't specify how many fingers it should have. So it's going to just be like, oh, hands have fingers. And when, you know, it's not necessarily going to figure out on its own that most hands have 5 fingers. And those that don't are hunted by witch hunters.
The should is one of those things, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't understand should. That's not a concept.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that being said, that frickin' pig in the top left, it loves doing that. Just being like, here's a pig person. You said pigs, and I've got a bunch of people with pictures. It's just like, yeah, I can mix a pig into this, standing there behind a bar. It's like, no. Right, let's go really, let's really peel it back, okay? We're going to peel it back. I'm going to peel it back a lot. I'm going to go no prompts, chaos 50. We're going to go... Okay, inside a 15th century haunted cellar. Perfect, that's what we're going with. And we're doing nothing else. Nothing else. Chaos 50, let's go. I like some of these as well, these are quite nice. Number 3... Let's do 4 of number 3 because that looked pretty good. Okay, and what do we got here? These look... Oh, wow. I like these. Number 1 and number 3. Let's do 2 more of those. 2 more of those. Anything here? Nothing there. Yeah, exactly. The more hands, the more fingers, the better.
Right.
This is definitely not my other town, though. Some of these pictures are like, I don't know where this is, but this is not Tarm anymore, or rather, it's nothing like any of the other stuff I've made, so can't really use it. My problem is I used one reference image to make all of the Tarm setting. But of course, it had a skye and various aspects to it that I don't want to have in a cellar. So if I go to Right, let's load up these. Number 4 there looks perfect. Number 4's the winner. Load that up for you. Just give me 20 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Quick bio for me and let Snow entertain you.
Oh, God. The best part about me entertaining you is that everything's on a lag, so I can't even see what he left the screen on yet. So I'm looking at the same stuff you guys are at the same rate. Yeah, you're right. There is a bit of an Uberstrike kind of look to some of it. It's interesting because again, sometimes it picks out stuff in the sky that makes sense, and then other times, if you look at that upper right hand one, you've got sort of buildings obscured in the distance. Yeah, now dance, right? Well, I think the toughest thing is, yeah, exactly. I don't have access to post England losing memes. Not that I wouldn't, because I could absolutely do that, but I don't have access to do that. So, unfortunately, all I've got access to is the audio channel. My singing voice isn't that good, and my accent comes out much more strongly. I'm suppressing my accent right now, believe it or not, for clarity's sake. I think the biggest thing about looking at all of these is just that it kind of drives home that it's not that easy. Dance and saying, yeah, there we go. Not that easy to keep things within a limitation that makes sense. And good example, like I said, the handyman. Like if you put in a handyman, you're going to get some kind of Lovecraftian horror because it's like, here's all the hands. That's a perfect. I just noticed the synonym buns, and I'm not sure if I'm like proud or deeply offended on like a very basic level that you even said that.
Carry on as you are. It's your channel now.
Oh well, but I was Velcana Nublet said that I like synonym buns from my grandma used to make, and I, even though I am a dad, the dad joke is sort of caustic, sort of like lie, good lie soap. It sort of hurts so good kind of thing. But what I was actually talking about is how you have to be very specific because otherwise the AI will sneak in stuff that, like you said, is one would not think would be related, but somehow the thing has decided or observed that there is in fact a relationship you just didn't think of.
Yeah. Yes, it's
the 2 minutes, dwarf, not 20.
It's smarter than us. That was not. My bladder is not that big. One day it may be.
He's not that big of a person.
There are times where I've probably spent what felt like 5 minutes, but today was not one of those days.
Today was not one of those.
Today was half a pint of Carlsberg, just kind of.
I was gonna say you had enough beer going that it's aided in the process.
I'm going easy. So I'm going to combine, because it's making some stuff that's kind of like, okay, this is passable, passable Warhammer stuff at least.
It's just, like you said, it's the weird things that sneaks in that you kind of have to sort of filter out.
Yeah, like if you could Photoshop or heck, if you could draw, it would be possible to take some of these and be like, okay, that's pretty good. Let's morph that into something else. What I'm going to just look for is a. It's okay, dwarf. It's all good. To be fair, I quite often misspeak, so I could well have said 20. Because
well, you said 20, but I think you said 20 seconds. And I'm like,
oh yeah, 20 seconds.
20 minutes. 20 minutes. I think you said 20 seconds.
20 knowing me, I probably just said I'll be 20. Back in 20.
Heck of a soliloquy.
20. Yeah, my brain at the moment is a bit kind of cabbage, so that's a thing.
You're in good company. Smart delete shenanigans. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay.
I hate Adobe though because you have to update your licenses all the time, and I'm sure Luis knows what I'm talking about.
They do licenses for that?
Well, right.
Yeah.
It's the software as a service being taken to like crack land. So I know that it depends on kind of what you're using, but I'm pretty sure that some of the more sophisticated Adobe stuff is both expensive and forces you to update. I think it's quarterly, if I remember right. Now, I may be wrong about that.
I like this one. This one speaks to me. You're going off to visit someone you really don't want to visit.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That one I like. No, that one I upscaled by accident. Some of these are passable. A lot of them are passable. They're just not what I'm looking for. Like this one I really like. But even then it's got like people that don't look like people and it's a bit fucked up.
Well, I mean, and in certain times or places or settings, that would be appropriate, right? You're like,
Yeah.
and everyone in this town, you know, like the we're going to take a road trip to Mordheim. Okay, you know, this is, you know, this is great. You know, you can just take some of this stuff straight out of Mid-Journey's, like, sort of half melty sort of mishmash of biological organisms.
Interesting one, but I don't really know where the hell that would be. Okay, let's go with... Yeah. I mean, this is one software that I'm quite happy to pay for a monthly subscription. It's 30 quid. It's quite a lot, but the value I'm getting out of it is pretty immense. So I've got like a lot of art that I can't be sued for using, which is on its own worth good money. And I can run a campaign with all the characters having their own pictures and it all looking nice. And I know that's not the most important thing in a TTRPG, but it's also like it's kind of helpful, you know?
Well, and the other thing is that it's a unique approach to broadcasting. Like,
yeah,
I'll say this: I can see the appeal of the, you know, critical role. Sort of, you're watching the actors act out, and I'll pick on them because they kind of did the fundamental, some of the fundamental show making.
They're good people to watch.
Well, they really are, and you can learn a lot about acting from them actually if you watch. But one of the things that I was hitting on, and one of the things I liked that you did, even in as far back as your first, you know, Warhammer fantasy campaign, before you were even, I think you weren't even using Foundry yet, or if you were, it was like right at the beginning of you using Foundry, was with our good friend the gnome, and his ability to fry anything at a distance. One of the things I really thought was interesting is you were one of the few people I saw that relied mostly on voice work, as opposed to, and you actually had the tokens and all that stuff set up so that, you know, people are looking at it and there is more of a, I mean, you'll laugh if you think about it, but a cinematic kind of engagement.
Well, there's a visual component to it, right?
Correct.
Like, even if it's not like, even if it doesn't feel cinematic like a movie does, it's like, well, sometimes listening to stuff's really hard to follow. And if you have a face for each of the NPCs,
right,
it really helps because,
oh yeah,
like, for the amount of NPCs we had in Tarm, like, ain't nobody gonna follow that.
Nah.
But
I mean, and you know, and they were all kind of different. They all, in a lot of minor parts would come in, but you know, you had that visual anchor too. You're like, oh yeah, I remember this person now. And you could see them in their correct context.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that made some of your stuff different, was the work that goes into the maps is something people notice, and I'm sure the chat will, when they catch up to it, will agree. Like, the work put into the maps and the setting exceeds that of most other people who do this. Not that that's a good or bad thing, but it's a different thing. It made it different, you know, and I think that and distinct.
Yeah, well, it was... We can't all be professional voice actors and like a 7 out of 10 on like hot or not, you know.
Right.
Most of us are going to be.
Some of the best might not be they might not be a 7, but they're actually able to carry a story, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then you have other people who, like Olivia Munn, who I'll pick on her just because she was unashamed about using her looks as a career advancing tool, right? And good on her. She had things that she could use, but the point is that, you know,
there's a place for that, and there's an audience for that. There's an audience out there that just want to listen to a story in a world that they like, that isn't just a group of pretty people with either lots of cleavage or chiseled jaws, and perfect hair, for kind of laughing and like doing lots of out of character stuff, which is fine. Like, it's fun to watch.
You have the Laura Baileys of the world who can disappear into characters if she wants to. Like,
she's incredible. Like, I tip my hat to her all day long.
Combination of somebody like Laura, but most people aren't Laura. It's not even close. But like I said, I'll take a good voice actor, even someone who's having fun with their character. Like I like our ogre from our vacation to Lustria, right? You know, he did a great job bringing that character to life, and you know, and part of it was, you know, smart use of a voice changer and all the other stuff. But again, you know, it's the ogre is more important than the guy behind the ogre, right?
Yeah.
The character becomes what's important, not the person.
Especially when no one knows who you are, right? Like Laura Bailey, people know who she is because they're like, oh yeah, I've heard her on this and this and this and this and this.
I've heard her in every video game in the last decade.
Exactly. It's like they're famous if you know who the voice actors and actresses are. But I mean, if
you hear her voice, you'll be like, that's familiar. But
yeah,
you know, unlike someone say like Elias Tufexis, who when you hear him speak, you're like, I never asked for this. You know, immediately, you know, you meme it. I mean, he even jokes about that.
This is like a building within a building. That's
a very Mid-Journey thing to do.
Okay, I like number 2 here. So
Buildingception.
Yeah, number 2 is good. So I'm gonna get some more versions of this because these taverns actually look somewhat passable. Or kind of leaning toward passable. Mm-hmm. We're getting there. That was a good campaign. I wonder which one he's referring to. Who knows? I would get back into Critical Role if I could handpick who was playing in it. Because at the moment, like, I find half of the cast entertaining and the other half infuriating, and it's enough to put me off because I'm like, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch this.
One of the things that I would love to do would take like the original voice cast of Mass Effect and run a game with that crew, because I think that would be amazing. I promise you, they'd be great. Just that voice cast.
Yeah.
You know, all of them. You know, except Yvonne has had her career blow up. But and she's done pretty well for herself overall, kind of a working actress. But you know, the rest of that crew you probably could get a hold of.
Right.
Even having Laura and God, what's the gentleman's name? He's been in a bunch of stuff too. The guy who was male shepherd and you know, you have Laura for female shepherd. If you got that crew together, that'd be an amazing.
Did she do female shepherd? There you go.
Pretty sure she was female shepherd.
Probably, but, like statistically, you're likely to be right.
But the reason I say that is just you had a group of people who could clearly work together, and that, you know, that's one of those things where you could go, you know, you could make a whole show out of them doing improv. I bet real money you could do that.
That's a good point from Louis. One of the problems with Critical Role is unless you've got 4 hours each week, then you're behind, and then kind of like, then it's like, oh, now I've got 12 hours to catch up with, and then it's all of a sudden like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So now it's kind of just overwhelming. That's happened several times to me, at least. Okay, number 4 here looks good. We're going to do a couple more stable rolls. Okay. We're getting, like, this one I kind of like as a middle class tavern. It's kind of nice enough. Not overly nice, but like, yeah, there's space and there's windows. So
There's windows. It's middle class.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's like it reminds me of what was it? The Shepherd's Tavern that was kind of a middle class tavern.
Oh, the Ram. Was it the Ram's Head?
I think it was the Ram's Head.
Yeah.
I was just remembering that, we went inside and it wasn't like, covered in rats, and everyone was kind of pleasantly surprised. They're like, oh yeah, oh.
I'm going to try, because we never got the rat hole done in this, and I'm going to try and go back now to getting the rat hole back. Because I've drifted from my original aim, which was to have a one damn image that I can use on Friday. Which is
well, you could try Colony of Vermin. I mean, to go back to sort of what Runes was saying.
Yeah.
As the biggest problem is whenever we use the word rat in tavern, it would have Splinter slinging drinks.
So what I'm putting is a colony of tiny rats crawling on the floor.
There we go.
Very dark with closed
it's still
windows.
Gonna make it into like man rats. Watch.
Yeah.
It's like you're deliberately misinterpreting what I'm saying, computer.
And I'm going to do Chaos 10 to start off with. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Chaos 10, and I'm going to do some other Chaos as well, because basically the higher the Chaos, the higher the creativity it uses, but... and sometimes the higher creativity like really comes up with some cool stuff, and other times it comes up with Splinter serving you a drink.
Which could be great for certain stuff, just not what you're looking for.
So these are okay. Like number 1 I kind of like. They're kind of passable. It's like, yeah, that could be someone's home. They always look so uncluttered, and then you look at like actually how 15th century people live, and they have like 3 objects, and that's their possessions.
Yeah, I think like... we have a lot more stuff.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's see what happens with that, because I went back with using the original reference images that were getting me in trouble before. So.
Brutus. Yes. If you want to call that a German accent, I'm not certain what accent it is.
With the German accent.
It was sort of like a weird combination of Dutch and German. And,
yeah, it was slightly Sesame Street.
American meme.
Yeah. Slightly Sesame Street sort of vibe to it.
Swedish chef. Yeah, there's a bit of Swedish chef in
definitely
there
some Swede in there. Yeah, quite a bit of that. It was good. That was fun.
No,
okay, whenever you do stables that fucks up the horses, that's something else I've noticed.
I was gonna say like the 5-legged horse and the it's interesting to me, like it doesn't seem to know what a horse should look like.
Yeah,
I mean, how long did you fight to get cavalry?
Like, yeah, and some of them in the end were like, damn, that's good, but it's like...
No, but like it started with like centaur people like melted into the horse, and you're like...
But it can't recognise them as a rider on a horse. It's like... Right. And apparently it's much better now than it used to be, because it used to be like way worse. And
it's a little bit of Cthulhu for your viewing pleasure.
I mean, I'll stick with V4, but some of the old Vs I think were a little bit on the rough side. Do you mind sticking the there's people in the tavern again now. Do you mind sticking another, what do you call it, link for the Discord in, just if anyone else has rocked in?
Done.
Much appreciated. So yeah, I think for this campaign what we're going to do is run with 2 groups and alternate every other week, or if there's someone that can like make it for the next 4 weeks and then not make it for 4 weeks, I might ask if there's someone else that wants to start at Christmas or in 4 weeks, and then we can have a rotation as well. Right. So some of these are like nearly okay, but there needs to be no people. Okay. What do you call it when someone puts loads of images on the wall and tries to like plan out and map connections between things?
Corkboarding. See, the thing is that oh gosh, what is it? There's another phrase for it. Maybe Chad will come up with it. Of course, I'll have to catch up to our speaking, but it's not corkboarding. There's another term.
Crazy. The detective's crazy wall.
Yeah, but there's an actual word for what that is. It's network kind of networking or whatever. But there's a phrase for it's like storyboarding.
Right.
In fact, storyboarding might get you that because of the weird connections that stuff tend to go in a storyboard.
Crazy Wall brings it up on Google very consistently.
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it uses Google Image, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what search engine it uses to look at stuff.
I don't really know how it works. I'm gonna be honest.
I it's got to be looking at some. It has. I say the word looking. It has to be looking at something to be like, oh, that's what this is. You know, it's not like it stores it in its memory.
Right. So we're gonna do this Century Rundown Tavern, rundown
Crazy Wall,
cellar with crazy
scratch
wall.
board. There we go. Nut job. No. I mean, maybe, but that's not going to help. Like, if you put nut job in there, it might have a dude, like, picking almonds off a tree or something. Like, you got to be careful what you tell it to do.
Right, we're going to go for this with just a chaos of 40. We're going to keep that chaos. Mood boarding.
Yeah,
okay.
Luis mentioned that.
String board?
Yeah, could be. Because I've seen them in... You're gonna laugh, but in my day job, I've seen people planning things with a board with pictures and stuff.
That's hilarious.
And like connecting. Well, a lot of it's also keeping track of like, good example, an organizational chart. You know, you'll have people. It's like, oh, this guy works with this guy, and this guy works with that guy. And,
there's some softwares for that. Like, you should recommend this to these criminals. It's like there are some apps you can do for storyboarding that makes it like way easier.
The problem is, you probably. I'm pretty sure a search warrant could get their account.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Do that.
Just get like download the app. Just download the app and then go offline. Go in offline mode. Secret mode. Fine. You know, government couldn't possibly see that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Asana wouldn't hand over your org chart if you're the cartel. Never.
Exactly. 1 and 4. Okay.
Some guy in Nuevo Jalisco, like, oh yeah, put my org chart up on Asana. We're trying to keep track of people's hours.
An evidence board. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was going to say. He
Okay. Yeah.
Cipher.
I'll do a crazy board and evidence board for the next one.
Cousin of Bill Cipher.
So some of these are okay. Like number 1 in this is fairly good. It looks like there's a bell hanging from the ceiling. Number 2, actually, I quite like. I'm surprised I nearly missed that.
I like the lighting in number 2.
Yeah, I like the green tint of the walls and the like ambiguous orange stain on the floor. What have you got on your floor?
Is it
honey?
Evil? Is it what?
Yeah.
Is it bad beer?
Is it evil? That's a good question to ask.
Is it evil? Well, I mean, evil's fairly broad.
Roll perception. That's the sign of a very paranoid group of players. You see a stain on the floor. Is it going to corrupt me?
It's like, you know, though, that's exactly how I play games like this, because I figure that you won't make it past about 15 in Warhammer if you aren't just genre savvy.
Yeah.
To some degree. You're like, I live in a terrible place, and we all know it.
Yeah, well, like, you're most likely to die just from malnutrition, let alone, like...
Not necessarily knowledgeable, just very genre savvy.
Yeah.
I know I'm in a horror movie.
We're back to cult candles again, but this is kind of okay. This is kind of... too many candles, for sure, but...
Well, I think it's more indicative of something like an upper scale kind of place, some place where people with more money might go to drink.
We might just need a candle factory here to make sense of all of this. Candlewick and Matchwick are going to come back, having a candle business. Very lucrative. I do like the idea of having a halfling thieves guild in all campaigns, but instead last time I went for gnomes. And thinking back, I wonder if Matchwick and Candlewick could have been gnomes. Maybe not. They could have been either.
I think it's better if it's vague what
exactly.
Candlewick and Matchwick really were. Like, that was the best part about them, was that you had, the... Oh, God, what are the villains from... they reminded me of the villains from Neverwhere.
Oof.
No
idea, I'm afraid.
Have you ever watched or read? I read it. I never watched it. But in Neverwhere, there's these two assassins, and they're clearly not human. In fact, their description is a person. They wore suits that looked as though someone had assembled the suit through a verbal description without any knowledge of the subject matter. So that was the description of what they looked like. And there was one dude who constantly talked, and there was another dude who only ever pantomimed, just like Candlewick and Matchwick. But it was just, there was this sort of like sinister air of the two of them where you're just like, are they really halflings?
Yeah.
Are they demons? like I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
They appear to be able to be injured, but I mean,
coal cellar maybe? Not sure.
Rambling old men? Yeah, like you're any better.
Right. That one I think has potential. Some of these are okay, and I might go back to some of the ones that are okay and like do a few more iterations of them. A lot of what we've come up with tonight is just kind of
He's right, we would have to have a professional fire brigade with the amount of candles.
Thieves' Den.
Could be a meme.
I mean, it must be the reference images.
Probably.
I think they're just kind of... They've probably got a few candles in and it's just going crazy. I think... number 1, maybe? I don't really know what's in those barrels. Let's find out by upscaling it. Right, we're still no closer to a rat hole. So,
well, did the is it still processing the
rats
on the floor?
Where's my crazy wall? Let's look for the word
crazy wall, evidence board. Evidence board I think was the term I was thinking of. I think Cypher is correct. But...
Right, so this is the one with a crazy wall. Unfortunately, no sign of crazy wall. It does not recognize crazy wall.
It's like you can't figure it out. You might have to find some kind of source image for it.
Yeah, I think that's probably where we need to go.
It's such an probably an underused concept with Midjourney. It probably doesn't have a lot of context.
Crazy wall. Evidence board. Notes, letters on walls. String. Let's just try that first and see if it can get us anywhere. We'll load this up. It nearly got some mice. Oh my word! Okay.
It nearly got some mice.
It's done some stuff. Like, if 3 doesn't look like a chaos cult, then I don't know what does. Did I have rats? A colony of tiny rats. Okay, yeah. Well, let's.
Yeah, I think you said colony of tiny rats.
Yeah, it seems to have tried to do. They're on a table, but I'm like.
I don't know. That's fairly appropriate.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Right. I'm really curious to see what this is. Maybe the rat hole's actually been taken over by Skaven. and everyone's just convinced that it's abandoned and won't talk about it. I feel like a Skaven presence would be good, because Skaven pulling the strings behind the scenes are kind of... It's not done enough, you know.
Well, I think people underestimate they actually have a capacity to communicate with people. Like, that's one of those things I did like in some of the enemy within type campaigns, that they emphasize that Skaven aren't the reason that they are basically able to keep themselves invisible is largely because they actually do participate in society to a degree. But of course, you only run into their secret police. Sort of like the Chinese that have police offices inside Chinese restaurants. That kind of thing.
Ah, Skaven Blights. Yes. Is that the game which had rats all over the floor? What's the game that had loads of rats on the floor?
Plague Tale.
Plague Tale. Yes,
Plague Tale has a great... You might be able to get some great source images from.
Let's give this a go. Inside a 15th century rundown cellar. Plague Tale. Crazy wall evidence board, notes, letters on the walls, strings, scratch board, notes.
Dorgs of the opinion we need Skaven who are convinced they're people.
Small rats. Tiny rat swarm on the floor. There's far too many words in this, but I'm just going to hope. And okay. Right, it's trying. My scratch board is coming along. And these rats are kind of merging together. We'll just see what happens with those.
Well, isn't there a thing in Warhammer? I know there's a thing in, I think, D&D for a rat colony that kind of grows together, but isn't that an enemy in the Warhammer Fantasy source books as well? It's like a ball of rats that have kind of grown into one creature.
Oh, they have their experiment thing.
Well, gosh, I feel like it might even be in the original like Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay book, but I feel like there's a thing for the king rat kind of, urban legend sort of creature where it's like a bunch of rats that have kind of become one organism. Like a giant rat ball, basically. Think the Blob, but with rats. Yeah,
not familiar. Not familiar. I've seen rat swarms.
Can remind me where I found that.
Yeah, has anyone got a mutated ball of rats? I mean, it sounds like a chaos spawn built of rat. Which sounds unpleasant enough. So
yes.
These images are not too bad, but I need, they're not quite terrifying enough. So let's imagine rundown, haunted, scary cellar. A dark, scary cellar.
Really, yours? That's a real thing?
Shadows. Sure. We'll just throw more words at it and see what it does.
Apparently that's a real phenomenon as well. Yours has apparently some knowledge of the matter.
Okay. 4 could do. 3 could do. We're getting closer to what I'm after. 1's quite good. I like 1, but I'm going to do 4 different versions of 1 as well. And 2's garbage, so let's see what we've got here. Okay, here we go. Still too many candles, but we're getting somewhere now with this. Okay. We're getting there. Rats connected at the tail is an actual thing. Oof. Conjoined rats. I mean, it makes sense. We have conjoined people. Yeah. I doubt they live very long.
Squirrels. Huh.
Right. Let's have some more. It's a load in them. Right, Grotek and Felix in Nuln. He wasn't too much about Skaven communication, but about absurd stealth when Skaven were praised for good costume at the Countess's ball. Yeah.
Well, they can speak. The thing is, like, when you see their speech written, and it's one thing I did like about Gotrek and Felix. They actually covered this in one of their novels. That language, you're looking at a translation when you read that. That's not what it sounds like when they speak. It sounds like a rat squeaking at you, with syllables and stuff. But it's clearly not a human language. But some of them can speak Riechspiel, for example, or other languages, Talayan. I know they can. I know there's a bunch of them that can speak Talayan. But again, it's, you're not running into the average Skaven. You're running into the guys that are in their, equivalent of the state security branch, right? They're not, the average Skaven citizen is not who you interact with. You're basically interacting with rat KGB.
Yeah, gutter runner's going to be spooky. Unpleasant person to meet, let's say. But I do like the idea that the majority of nobles, for example, have had run-ins with them, and they're like they know full well that something's going to slip into their room at night and kill them if they do XYZ. So that's why this farm over there is just now abandoned.
Right. Well, I feel like you don't want to overplay it, but it certainly is a thing that you could work into a campaign.
Yeah.
Without it being too crazy.
Definitely. Yeah, it's not like unless the Skaven had a massive interest in an area, like they're probably not pulling strings in small villages, but they're likely going to be in the sewers of a city. Right. To some degree, or at least have a tunnel that allows them entrance to it. So I would assume
being a rat catcher more like The Departed than a normal horror movie, right? You're like, "Sir, I found the rats," and they're like, "Yeah, you have." Click. What do you mean, pal? You just got executed by the noble for bringing it to their attention.
yeah, very much.
Avenge me.
We're nearly getting there with this. We've got a couple here that I kind of like. God damn, this room's cold. I've got my trickle vent open, and man, is it letting in a stiff breeze. Right.
They said it was going to get cold. I saw some headline pop across my thing.
Yeah, we're only on like -2 over here, but
freezing.
It's enough to still be like, yeah, my bones don't like that.
Well, a wet -2 is a deeply unpleasant atmosphere.
That's one thing England does do is wet.
Damp.
Right, yeah, damp and moist are probably the words. Yeah. Like, we can't really complain of having a rainy season, but we just have this constant dreariness. Like, a bit like our general temperament, really. It's just dreary. 1, 2. I like 1 and 2 here. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, I like these. Yes, okay, we're getting somewhere now, but we're going to have some spares just in case. Number 2 and 2, 3. Okay. We have some pictures that could kind of pass as rat. I tell you what I haven't actually done is updated the one. Okay. Let's update that then. I haven't updated the other image in forever.
I don't know if you've been following Yoris and Thorg in the chat.
Are they talking crap?
They volunteered you to play the noble you were talking about.
Oh, for sure. I'm on it. That's going to be the fratback. I will be a noble. I'm looking forward to it. Mountberry needs to manifest in a campaign. He'll likely be in all of my campaigns to some degree. But yeah, we shall see. Watch this space. So, what else have we got happening here? We got these. Have we got any more that have come out since? What have we got there? Okay, it's kind of getting close, but then it's just putting like the weird Christmas tree pine cone in the corner, and it really doesn't understand what low lighting is. Like, it really, like, I say dark, and it's like, it's dark, but you can see everything and what it is. It's like, that's not dark. That's dim lighting, you know. There must be. I think it's just not able to really pick up on some of the interpretations as to, like, well, it sees dark and it picks, like, okay, these places are relatively dark, just not the type of dark I want, but that's my fault, not the game's. Okay, number 4 and number 1. We're going to do more versions of number 4. Yeah, number 4 is basically what I was looking for. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I might do some more inside a 15th century rundown, dirty, messy cellar. Yep. Dust,
yeah, I can see that.
Dark, mouldy. What would you call, like, really dim lighting? Like, really, like, candlelight's not good enough. It's like,
no,
like,
because it's going to just do more of the candles.
Yeah. Yeah, if you put really, really dark, it's just going to be like more candles. That will cure the darkness.
Heck the darkness.
Okay. So we do have some of these here that are fine. Like, some of these can be usable. I won't say exactly which, but like, I quite like this one. It's vague enough, but yeah, that's all right. Like the fact, like, 1 brick has been poked out on this to make a window, or like 3 bricks. Yo, what's up, Zardas? How's everyone doing, by the way? Low light, murky. Yeah, I mean, I've tried horror, and I've tried. Maybe I could put Blair Witch, and it'll, because it needs to be like super, super dark. You know what I mean? Super, super dark.
Yes. The question is, does Midjourney know what you mean?
Yeah, dim view, candlelight, subdued lighting. Okay, let's look this up. Midjourney lighting styles.
Dim Millennium.
Grim Dim Millennium for the youngest audience, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Right.
Lighting. I don't know, Cosmo, that might work. Murky, yeah. I don't know, Merc. Murk.
Lighting styles and
Murk is
techniques.
probably liable to get kind of what you've got there, where you have sort of the misty, you
can
coverage.
get global illumination.
Foggy. Yeah, he's using foggy, Zartus, actually.
Shadows.
Because that's part of a...
So you can go into more of the details exactly as to exactly what colours you want and such.
Right.
I can't because I'm potato. Right.
And what's that thing at the bottom? You scrolled. I know you probably already scrolled back out of it. That's the problem with being on delay. But there was the bottom of Midjourney V3. There's the very bottom. There's a... Keep going down. It showed one that was like a dark, with very minimal lighting.
Types of displays. None of these are really...
Clickable.
But these are only V3. I need V4. Sphere, just the style. Types of lights: spotlight, floodlight, front light, backlight, rim light, fucking flickering light,
Ring light,
big old blinding light. How about no light? How about no light?
No light.
Torchlight.
Torchlight. Well, actually, I don't know if torchlight would be a different... It might be different than the candles, though.
Torchlight view.
Yeah. Just a thought. Ghost light?
I'm going to put shadowy inside a shadowy dark. I mean, it's not just dark. What's worse than dark? It's like there's no lighting at all. Dim.
Yeah. Well, but we've already kind of used... I know you've used dim in some of these.
Unlit. Maybe we go for moonlit. Let's try some of this stuff.
Torchlight in London fog. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's Thor's suggestion.
Okay, this one I quite like. Let's have a bit more of a look. That was nearly okay, but then it put some like weird squares on the table. This one was nearly okay. It has like a really wonky ladder. Let's see what it does with the wonky ladder though. Nope. Okay, number 1's fine. Okay, 4, 1, 2. Londony at night. Yeah. Indeed. Midjourney lighting styles. Midjourney V4 lighting styles. Horror lighting. Now, I think what we'd need to do is find like a photographer that's done loads of stuff in that style and kind of pillage what they've done, use them as inspiration and use them as a specific reference, because it can do stuff by artist style. A few of these are okay. It was a dark and stormy night. All of the elves died. The end. Alright. This one's okay. It's quite vague, but that's alright. Cosmo, what's up? Soft, maybe. Soft lighting. Yeah, we could try... we could try dim lighting, because candlelight just kind of puts candles everywhere. Oh, why has this got oil on the sides? Tell you what we'll do. Inside a 15th century... Let's switch it to 16th century. Let's do that. Run down, dirty, messy cellar. A haunted... let's go haunted first. A haunted 16th century rundown, dirty, messy cellar. Okay. Bear with me just a sec, folks. I've got to go cook in a sec. We're just going to try a couple of others, though. This one looks promising.
Get it rolling.
Yes. And this one's okay. So we've got a few that are passable. I really would stress passable, though. Yeah. Maybe I need to use more words like shadows, darkness. Like it's included some, so yay for that. But I guess it still wants to make the things recognisable because I've asked for them, so it doesn't really make sense that it would then hide them in black. And I could always do a filter over the top to bring the darkness down. We'll see. Yeah, -1 Sunday evening. I hear you loud and clear there. I hear you loud and clear, but I have +1 radiator in my house now, so I am... I now may not freeze to death at night. Yeah, the last few nights have been very cold. We do not have a warm house.
That's also the partially constructed state of the house. I mean,
yeah.
There's that
aspect. I'm gradually going around plugging literally all the holes in the house where our hot air is just disappearing. So
that helps a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so Haunted seems to have helped a little bit, although it's definitely made it quite cluttered. Although it's also the wrong aspect ratio now, so I don't know where we missed that, but okay. Yeah, let's try that again with a better aspect ratio, because that's not terrible, but I think it's just the aspect ratio kind of fixed it. Low contrast. Let's try one with AR 3.2, and then we'll go strength switchboard, close windows, and then we do low contrast, dark. We've already got the word dark. Shadows, dim, grim. Spooky, dark. I just want to put the word dark like 1,500 times. Low lighting.
Synonyms for dark, low contrast. I don't know. Yeah.
Yep.
Thor may have a point here. Nothing more terrifying than a bright sunshiny day in Warhammer. I'm like, yeah,
well, that looks like what you're getting. A lot of my outsidey skies are sort of satisfyingly dark. Here's a picture of a zealot we've made, by the way. This is one of our characters. Hope you like. Standing in front of two sort of candelabras on the wall. Yeah, I like that. Very nice. Very nice. So, this... I don't know where this image is going, but we're going to find out in a moment. Oof. I think it's gone like happy and never mind like dusty, dark, mouldy. It just kind of just ignores me. Let's have a few more details, please. That last update, it sometimes does throw in some textures that actually make it okay. So actually, 3. So that's actually not terrible. So I'm going to do 2 more of those. Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah. Yeah. The quest for darkness continues. I mean, it is doing okay, and I do actually want to be able to see what's in the scene, but it's just the previous maps I was able to make with Flowscape, I could exactly change the lighting. I could do exactly what I wanted with it. I don't know how to do that with this software. I am not that clever, so. Mm-hmm. And you kind of can edit the prompts to be like less green and more red. You can have a fair bit of control over that. So number 1's pretty good here. Number 3 is nearly okay, but okay. I think I'm going to have to call it, guys, because my pregnant wife needs feeding. And if I don't feed her now, she won't be able to feed the baby. So everything will go Pete Tong. I think I'll settle with this image, and after 2 hours of streaming, say I finally came up with one that is what I was looking for the whole time. The Cellar of the Rat Hole, which is looking grim, and puzzling and confused, and this one's got all the things I want in it, so perfect. Now I just have to get on and make loads of other shit before Friday, which is I really doubt is going to happen, because I need to just start putting stuff in Foundry like yesterday. And I do not know when I'll do this, because I have 1 hour per day of spare time until Friday. So worst case, we'll have another session 0, which is, I have to say, unfortunately, a strong possibility. But we'll see. I do have a good backlog of images, at least. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to stop talking now, and I'll bid you good night. Take care, Snow.